Okay, let's keep going with our previous example. Now, one thing to note is that an agent can have multiple tools added to it. You don't need to have one, you can have hundreds of tools added, and it will determine itself when to use a specific tool. An example of a great example is the Yahoo Finance tool. So go ahead and go to your marketplace, search up Yahoo Finance, okay? And then go ahead and install it. All right. After you install it, by the way, if you don't see it in your tool list, make sure you click refresh. Sometimes it does take a while for it to kind of get added in, but if you click refresh, you should see it here. So now we're not only going to give it Wikipedia, we're also going to give it the Yahoo Finance tool, which basically there's three actions associated with it. We can get the analytics for a particular stock, we can get the ticker information for a particular stock, or we can get news related to a particular stock, okay? Let's add ticker and let's add news. So now, all of a sudden, this agent has access to these two things. But we also must update the instructions as well. So we're going to say you're an AI assistant that does research on Wikipedia, gathers the most recent stock price and news, and then provides summarized company reports. Okay, we'll click restart. And here we'll say, again, let's give it, we can make it general. That's the best part about an agent. We don't need to specify Ford, Tesla, Honda, blah, 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 blah. Instead, we can be more conversational, right? We can say something like, prepare a report on Chipotle. So now it'll go do its thing. I'll first do a Wikipedia search for Chipotle. It'll then get some information about Chipotle. All right. It'll then find it using the Yahoo Finance ticker and find information related to that. It'll then find news related to Chipotle. And then it prepares me the report. It says overview, Chipotle, blah, 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 company highlights, financial information, which it got from the Yahoo Finance, stock information. It says, unfortunately, I can't retrieve the latest news. Don't know why that errored out, but that's okay. At least the rest of the parts worked. Okay. And the cool thing about this is, again, I can be very, very conversational, like I'm talking to a junior analyst who knows Wikipedia and Yahoo Finance, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll refresh or restart. And instead, I'll do something like prepare a report on the company that sells iPhones. Now, I didn't say specifically Apple. I just said iPhones. But it knows based on its knowledge that I'm talking about Apple, and then it's finding the information related to that as well. Looks like the news isn't really working that well, so I'm going to turn off the news action. Clearly, that news tool is not working the way it should be. But there you go. So now, again, if I were to do this with the workflow, it would not work, which is why agents are so much better. Okay? Amazing. Now, let's take it one step further. We found how you can use tools to allow agents to bring in recent information. In this case, search stock prices, search the news, search Wikipedia. But now let's go one step further. We want this tool to not only do those things, but then we want the tool to take an action. We want it to post a message on our Slack channel. Okay? So I have this amazing Slack channel that I just made like 2 minutes ago, right? So this Slack channel that I just created. And what you can do in Slack here is you can actually go to, let me just see here. You can find the exact, perfect. So if you go to api.slack.com/apps, okay? Go ahead and create a new application. You should see, go ahead, click create new app. So click this, give it a name. Here, I'll just do it again. So click from scratch, give it a name. I'll just call it ST. Select a workspace, Diffie. Select create app. And then these are all your client IDs and client secrets. Okay, go all the way down to, let me see here. Incoming webhooks. Okay. turn that on, and then click Add New Webhook to Workspace. And then let's put it in Defy Tutorial, click Allow, and then make sure you copy this. Now what we're doing is we're going to give access to our agent to allow it to post to Slack for us. Slack, by the way, is a communication platform, very common, similar to Teams. You can do this with Teams as well, but just Slack is much easier. So now what we're going to do is we'll go again to our marketplace. Okay. We'll go to Slack. We'll click the Slack webhook, and then we'll click install. Okay, perfect. Now, if I go over here, there's a few things I need to specify, again, related to this agent. So make sure you refresh the page. If you've just done this, go ahead and click Add, and then click Slack, and then click here. The action is incoming webhook to send message. Okay? Go ahead and click that. Now, Slack works a bit differently, whereas Wikipedia, if you go to Info and Settings, you just see parameters. You don't see any other settings that you can toggle. For Slack, when you click this, okay, so for Slack, when you click it, you see a setting that you need to fill in called Slack incoming webhook URL, okay? So whatever you got over here, whatever you copied over here, just paste that in here. Okay, and you need to do this. And you need to do this each time you instantiate the tool so that it knows what Slack channel, so that it knows how to connect to your own Slack channel, right? Okay, but the parameters are pretty easy. Parameter, all it needs is the content, basically the message to send, and then it needs this as well. So we'll click Save on that. We'll click Restart. And now we'll create a multi-step goal. Okay, our multi-step goal is perform research on Apple and then send a summary of that to Slack. So now it's going to do multiple things. It's first going to use a Wikipedia search. Then it might use Yahoo Finance. It's going to get the results, and then it should send it to our Slack channel. Okay, so let's see if that works. Okay, I've also sent the summary to Slack. If I go over here, amazing. Here is a summary of Apple Inc. Apple Inc. is amazing. Isn't that so cool? So now not only can your LLM get information, but it can also process that information and then perform an action, in this case, sending a message. All right. And again, I can also create an agent that just sends Slack messages too. Or I can create an agent. You're an AI assistant that creates jokes on I'll say on the user's topic, and then sends a joke on Slack. So I'll turn off Wikipedia and Yahoo because it doesn't need that tool. It just needs the ability to generate a joke and then send the joke on Slack. So my topic will be, let's see, what's something funny? Let's put it on, let's have them create a joke on something related to Halloween. Okay. So I'll click enter on that. I'll then go over here. Why did the ghost go to the party? Because he heard it was going to be a blast. Oh, a blast. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty dumb. Let's do something else. Let's do TV. Why don't TVs ever get along? Because they always have too much trouble. And there you go. So now we've created an agent that just does that. But in summary, tools provide agents with the ability to perform actions. In this case, we saw actions that can bring in information. We also saw actions that can perform actions on other applications, like sending a message on Slack, which was very cool. And we saw how agents can do all of those things together. All of those things together. In this case, we told an agent, here's some tools. Your goal is to perform research and then send a message. And it was able to do that in the order that we wanted it to do it in as well. It's fine if you do that in a workflow. Just know in a workflow, you're very, very cemented. You know what I mean? You're very, what's the right word here? You're very locked in. Can't be generalized anymore. You have to be very locked in. You have to say, okay, first do Wikipedia, then do Yahoo, then do Slack. Instead, there might be cases where you don't want to do Wikipedia, you just want to do Yahoo. But if it's a workflow, then you kind of have to go through that unless you create conditional logic. But even then, your conditional logic might not take into account thousands of different combinations that you might have. This is why agents are definitely the future. Agents with tools, rather.